Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena and another episode of What Did Wizards Do? And it's a doozy this time. And it's me, it's CGB. Hi, everybody, your friendly neighborhood arena game player who likes my games of arena to not involve two-card infinite kill you combos that can appear out of nowhere. But Wizards just has to put those in formats now just to get everybody a little bit shaken up. And they have thrown a pretty innocuous uncommon into Jumpstart Historic Horizons that creates an infinite combo with their brand new mechanic perpetually. And it might even get you to craft a mythic that you probably won't get wildcards back for. Let's get right into it. I'm talking about Vesperlark and the perpetual mechanic. Now, we have already talked about Davriel's Soulbroker and Davriel's Withering, the perpetual mechanic, here on the show before. The fact that it gives a minus effect and can create basically a 0 toughness or 0 power forever, no matter what happens to the card, already got these cards pre-banned in Historic Brawl. They're already banned in Historic Brawl because you can't have commanders just being completely useless for the entire game. But the fact that the perpetual thing crosses zones when something goes to the graveyard, and even if it were to come back later, it would still have the -3/-3, has broken the format in other ways. And there weren't really any of these cards necessarily destroying things already in Historic. So Wizard said, why not put one there? Why not take this opportunity to put an infinite combo with perpetually in Historic on a serviceable creature, and that card is Vesperlark. Vesperlark is 2 and a white for a creature elemental out of Modern Horizons at uncommon. It's a 2/1 flying, and when Vesperlark leaves the battlefield, return target creature card with power 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, evoke 1 and a white. Evoke means you can cast a spell for the evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed immediately after entering the battlefield. So it's like you can cast the ETB part of it for a cheaper price if all you want is the ETB. So what's wrong with this card? Well, if you target it with Davriel's Withering or with Davriel's Soulbroker to give it perpetual -2 toughness or -3 toughness, it now has 0 toughness or under 0 toughness for the rest of the game. And what that means is when Vesperlark enters the battlefield, it will immediately die. And that will trigger when Vesperlark leaves the battlefield, return target creature card with power 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Power 1 or less. Power, not casting cost. Power 1 or less. Well, if you hit it with the Withering, its power is 1. If you hit it with Davriel, the power is -1. That means Vesperlark hits the graveyard and can target itself. Then it returns to the battlefield. But the effect is perpetual, so it still has the -1 power or the -3 power. So it dies again because it also has the -2 toughness or the -3 toughness. So it triggers again and it looks in the graveyard. And what does it see? What's there? Vesperlark. So it dies again and brings back Vesperlark and dies again and brings back Vesperlark, creating a potentially infinite loop out of just 2 cards. And 2 of them have a combined mana cost of 4. Davriel is a 4-drop. This is a 3-drop, but that's still right on curve. This one's an instant. All of these cards are playable on their own. You've created a Splinter Twin-like combo, and now we can leverage that to win the game. So let's have a look over here at this isn't even like me using half of my brain to throw this together, but this is the kind of deck that you could build around this combo. If you have a Soul Warden on the battlefield when you do this, you gain as much life as you can before your timer runs out. Nice. If you want your Vesperlark to live a turn, you can use Selfless Savior and Alseid of Life's Bounty to protect it, or you can use them to protect the win cons, which are Cruel Celebrant and Blood Artist, which both say when a creature dies, your opponent loses a life, you gain a life. So if you have one of these on the battlefield, they're just dead. They're just dead to that combo. I have Woe Strider because why not? A good way to sacrifice and keep things moving. But Collected Company, just picture that your opponent wraths the board and you cast Collected Company on their end step. The Collected Company could actually hit the Vesperlark, and it could also hit the Cruel Celebrant or the Blood Artist. You untap, draw, you play Davriel's Withering or Davriel, you use the Perpetual ability, and they're dead. They're just dead right there, right then. And all of this, because of all the life gain and the very low curve, could be part of a Bolas's Citadel deck. So even if they stop the combo, you can just go off with Bolas's Citadel and put it back together and make it all happen again. Again, that's just using a couple of brain cells on this particular combo, which is kind of, I mean, it's just absurd. Here's the other fun part. If Vesperlark is the only creature in your graveyard, this is not a May ability. This is not a May ability. So the Tybalts of the world out there just trying to cause chaos, you Lokis, you know who you are. If you want to, if this is the only card in the graveyard, it just, when you do this, it creates an infinite loop with itself. Now, you might say, what's the big deal? It does nothing. When their timer runs out, it will just pass the turn, right? Wrong. We've seen this before with Polyraptor and what's the card? Forerunner of the Empire from Ixalan. And I did this for a video if you want to look back at some old Polyraptor videos. But you can just go infinite, and what will happen is the trigger will just keep going and going and going. Wizards is programmed Arena to handle these things by popping up a helpful message that says, take a different action or the game will end in a draw. Loop, 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 loop. And then when nobody can take another action, the game ends in a draw. How exciting and great for everyone. I mean, with a Llanowar Elf or some mana creature, you could do this on turn 3, and the game would just end in a draw. Wow, that's fun. That's engaging. What a cool use of the perpetual mechanic. It's like they didn't even... And here's the part that kills me. They didn't have to print Vesperlark in the set. They didn't have to do it. Why did we just throw this random uncommon in here? Did they really not see it? I can't believe that anymore. I think that they throw these bombs and then say deal with it and then just end up banning it, because there's enough good cards and things to do around this shell that, yeah, you probably end up banning it someday. These cards are decent on their own, which is just the makings of a Splinter Twin type combo for you modern players and old school Magic players that eventually just has to go, even though they'll hang on to it longer than they should. And here's the thing, when it does get banned, for the couple of weeks while they say, see if you can adapt to it, people are going to see this deck and they're going to want to play it. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to craft this Mythic, Davriel Soul Broker. And you know what they're going to ban? It's not going to be Davriel Soul Broker. It's not going to be Davriel's Withering, because there's 2 of this effect. They're just going to ban Vesperlark. And when they do, now you have a Davriel deck, but it has no infinite perpetual combo. So it's toned down. Think about all the people who crafted Tainted Pact, right? And thought, well, they're going to ban Tainted Pact, so I'm going to get my Mythic Wildcards back. What did they do? They banned Thassa's Oracle. I still have 4 Tainted Pacts for no reason. I'm not the only one. Don't let them get you this time. If you don't want to get got, don't craft Davriel Soul Broker. I probably will to make a video just to showcase how stupid this is, because somebody asked to. But my advice is not to craft this card, and just say no to this stupid nonsense they keep putting you through to suck a few extra mythics. Because they didn't have to do this, and I refuse to believe they didn't see it anymore. I'm over it, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I overreacting? Is this combo actually going to be as broken as it looks? And are they doing this on purpose to get you to craft the new Mythic and then just pull out the uncommon and not refund you wild cards? Am I crazy? I feel like I've just seen it too many times now. It's the second time this year, and I feel like I could come up with so many instances from the past 4 years of Arena. But let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Don't craft Davriel unless you want to get scammed. And you're cool.